Hello everyone, Nicola here, and today I'm gonna show you how I made my track Into the Void for 8Du's latest scoring contest Constellations using their latest product Supercluster. Yeah, and let's just jump straight into it. I started writing the song playing around with the new patches of Supercluster. I started with actually with playing with the Magellanic Clouds preset. Um, if it loads, I can show you. Yeah, there it is. I simply used the Magellanic Clouds. And as I said, I played around and I played some chords, and I instantly felt that these chords are right for writing that song. And I'll quickly play them. Yeah, basically that's it. I mean, they are almost repeating. There's a little change at the end. We don't need to hear that out. I mean, you can probably figure it out for yourself. I started the song also with that loop, and actually the loop goes throughout the whole song, except for the outro. There I use the Nebula Pulse, which is the second preset I use from Supercluster. Um, and basically it's also the same pattern as the Magellanic Clouds to fit with it, though it's different. Notes are different as yeah, the notes from Supercluster are not in key, which means I had to figure out on which key I had to play them so they fit with the rest, or rather, as I started with these chords, I had to figure out how to score the rest. Yeah, and I also added this bass note, mm, which added to this bit too darker atmosphere. I changed it later on, I guess, but we'll come to that. Um, I started with the Magellanic Clouds, only accompanied by piano. We'll listen to that. That's probably the most prominent part of the track when you listen to it. I also supported that by recording the piano into Edison and reversing it. So we got this. Oh, sorry, why doesn't it play the sound? Oh. Yeah, and it just this swelling reversed piano just adds to the atmosphere and gives this really nice subtle feeling. I also added a delay effect here, so because I normally did this reverse just before the new note hits, and here there is no note in between, so I had this like, well, yeah, just to add a bit more variation to it and so on. The second thing, or rather third, that starts right from the beginning is the percussion. I therefore used let's just see. The piano is the 1928 scoring piano, and the percussion is Majestica's percussion low. I used the tom-toms and I think the Crancassa articulations for that. Um, yeah, it just adds really this tension. Just these impacts really make the track more tense in a way, and also yeah, I mean the picture. Every one of you who saw the video, it's it the video is really giving a huge epic picture of space and so on, and I thought this needs to feel vast and really huge, so I also had these impact booms by the played by the Crancassas really loud, so like here and here, and yeah, I felt like that would fit this kind of track best. So then we have the part where most things go on. We've also again the Magellanic Clouds and Nebular Pulse. But we got a bit of variation on the piano. And also a bit of a balance dip because I felt like the piano only I wanted this note to stand out. However, the rest of the piano part should be rather quiet because it's not the upfront thing that you want to hear. It's rather something that goes on in the background while the lead is taken by the legato violin, which is played using the the solo patch of Anthology and using the legato articulation. This is supported by some sustained strings utilizing Majestica and yes, the sustain patch it is. Yeah, and also some chords which get this pad sound. Yeah, there's the sustained string. It also has some automation on it for the mod wheel. That modulation later on, where no notes are played here, is due to the fact that I have these chords from Majestica playing here, which is actually the same instance of contact and the same patch. I only splitted it into two patterns, so yeah, I didn't feel like utilizing a second controller channel only for the second pattern, so I used the same one. And we also got yeah, here the main melody, and the main melody patch played by this legato solo violin. that's basically it. To have something in the background, I also have this sweet melody um, playing by Rentenspiel, this one. Like the piano, I gave it some really huge space using Replica and the Wormhole preset. It really adds a lot of space to this. There it is. Yeah, the Replica preset reverb plugin. And yeah, that's basically it for this part. I also introduced some subbasses. Those of you who have read the description of my original video that I posted have seen that um, for one part I didn't use any sub-bass plugin or anything like that. Which is because I don't have any sub-bass by 8dio. And you might have also read that I created a sub-bass by sampling and stuff, and I thought it might be hard to understand how this was done, so I'll explain that a bit more in detail. I started off with this bass created by the piano. Basically, let's just hear that without any, where is it? Without any, yeah, there it is, without any plugins. It's like really, it's a piano. And let's turn the plugins on and it sounds like this. Which is because I, like you can see here, I used vocoder, vocodecs by ImageLine. I pitched it to different notes so it fits with the scale. And then I just automated the mix level. I put some reverb on it and a bit of kickstart, so it, no, the kickstart is disabled, never mind. Yeah, and so it sounds like this. Okay, that gets a bit heavy for my PC. And I sampled it into Edison, like this, and let's just listen to it. I don't know why it doesn't play it back. Hello? Yeah, never mind. It just doesn't want to play the sound. I don't know why. So I have one note sampled in Edison, and I took like, I don't know how much the how big the loop was. I think it was like something like this part of the wave, and I put it in the sampler of FL Studio. It's that one. I'll copy it. And I used the loop points and played a bit with the length. Basically, that was the wave looking like before I edited it. And yeah, I shortened it a bit and played a bit with the pitch and so on, so it fits perfectly. So I have some effects also on that track. It's like some reverb. I think, yeah, it's only reverb and EQ, and I just cut out all the high frequencies because if I play, whoa, that sounds really, why does it sound so high? Let me just check. Yeah, okay, I see it's really low, but it really has a warm and subtle sound that really fills that subspace. Yeah, that was just perfectly well for that bass part. Let's just hear it, how this one sounds without the EQ, so you got the feeling why I did this. And for me personally, it has a really harsh and yeah, gritty sound that I really didn't like. I wanted something really smooth and sign like. So yeah. You also may have noticed by now these parts that are muted. That's because I came home at the day I scored this, and it was in the evening, and I had this email from 8DO where they said, yeah, our new contest is online. So I got on my PC and instantly downloaded Supercluster and started writing. And at that point, the rules were like, yeah, you only may use ATO stuff. I also cleared things up with the ATO team and support, and they told me no, you're only allowed to use ATO stuff. So as I wrote this track within like 6 to 7 hours. Let's just check. Yes, 7. It was like 7 hours. I came back to this project once and also did a recording, but this failed, so I overdo this again. Um, yeah, but I was actually the first one to upload his track, and back then, because I uploaded it within less than 24 hours after the contest started, so the rules still were you're not allowed to use anything else than ATO, so I disabled this, which is actually only a 3-time oscillator by image line, set to noise shape, and using a filter to get some sweeps. However, yeah, I muted that. So we've got the second quiet part, which is again the Magellanic Clouds, like always, and we've got some changes in the string chords, which is this high note. Let's just listen to it. Which is being played like all the time to the end. I'll just mute this. Mute the rest so you can hear the automation as well. Yeah, so that was that. And to add this really epic and wide eerie sound, I got this woman choir from it's Requiem Pro, I guess. Yeah, it's Requiem Pro. There we got it. Yeah, and I used to ooze, and yeah, let's just listen to it. And together with the rest of the sound, it gives this really, really wide and vast feeling. Yeah, it's just, I don't know how to say that. It's overwhelming. Yeah. Okay, back to something I just noticed I didn't speak about, is that part of the percussion. It's just, I mean, I think it's probably the only part where I did the velocity values by hand, because the rest is played in using my piano. Um, However, yeah, it's I just need to get that key switch. Okay, so it's just something really massive, and just listen. Wow. Now I need to get a key switch again. Sorry for that. That's also like in the beginning it gives this really huge sound that, yeah, it just fits the picture, and it's like really tense and huge, and yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah. So we get to the last part where actually there's not that much going on, or not that much difference going on. We've got again the Rentenspiel. This time the Rentenspiel takes the main part and the lead. Supported by again Magellanic Clouds and Nebula Pulse, as well as this time the choir, and again the piano with this repeated note and the sweeps. Also the my favorite sub bass, this sampled one, is playing. And yeah, that's basically it. However, we also got the string chords, which kind of evolve at that point, as I added this top line to them, which really, it sounds so awesome in my opinion. So let's just listen to it. Let's listen to it with the with the automation right away. And it just blends in perfectly with that choir. Using some of the dissonance, and that really, it just gives, personally for me, that just gives me the thrills, and it's just so awesome to listen to this passage. And yeah, let's just listen to it with everything. You notice Rentenspiel taking the lead. So apart from this, I also use that one that does this piano. Like it blends in with the Rentenspiel. You don't notice the piano that much because Let's just listen to this. We have just this going on, and it also could be a reversed part of the Rangenspiel. Also, the piano note could just be a Rangenspiel note because it has a different tone. However, due to the fact that it's the same note, it just it blends in because it's not that much different. However, it gives a slightly different tone, and this, yeah, it just adds up well. And then just the end is this nice outro part where I sped up the tempo because I was like, yeah, I don't have time for half an pattern because otherwise I would be totally over time. No, not for a whole pattern, sorry. And I talked to the ATU support and they told me, yeah, okay, it's fine if you go over the time by like 3-4 seconds, but not more. So I did this, that I extended it. The track goes like 156, 57, something like that, and I went to, yeah, let's just check me. Yeah, it's like basically, yeah, it's exactly 2 minutes, and yeah, so it it just needed to be like this to have this fade out because mm, it would just feel really strange if it sounded like that. I mean, that's not uh, really a nice ending. So I needed to have this reverb tail carrying on at the end of the track. So yeah, basically I needed to clarify that this was possible, and yeah, they told me, yeah, it's fine, I can do that, and so yeah. Um, yeah, basically it's just the piano playing these nice chords. Supported by the Nebula Pulse, a bit different, a bit changed pattern, and yeah, that's it. I have this Gran Casa boom at the end to just give it this final impact, and that's the track. I hope you guys liked it. If you want to know anything, how I made any track, or how I do stuff, how I set up my mock-ups or whatever, just let me know in the description if there's anything you'd like to have explained, or for example, how you probably do this sampling technique or whatever. Just let me know. Just leave a like, comment, whatever. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for listening, and see you in the next video.